You just spent weeks building the ultimate IoT project. You bring it to a friend's house to show it off. You plug it in and nothing. It's completely dead. Why? Because your home router password is permanently hard-coded into the firmware. Today, we are fixing this forever. I'm going to show you exactly how to connect ESP32 to Wi-Fi without hard-coding credentials, so you can share your code safely and build consumer-ready devices. But real quick before we dive into the code, if you find this video helpful, please smash that like button and subscribe. It seriously means the world to independent makers like me. I read every single comment, so let me know what you want to see next, and I promise to use your feedback in future videos. Let's build together. So, how do we get a Wi-Fi password onto a device that has no screen or keyboard? The secret is dynamic Wi-Fi configuration for ESP32 projects. When our ESP32 boots up, we'll program the ESP32 to auto-connect to Wi-Fi or create an access point. If it can't find a saved network, it acts as a standalone router. We set up AP mode with password in ESP32 WiFiManager. When you connect your phone to it, your phone realizes there's no internet. Just like logging into a hotel Wi-Fi, this triggers an ESP32 Wi-Fi setup using web browser captive portal. A setup page forces itself onto your screen. You pick your network, type your password, hit save, and you're done. But how do we code this? Let's start with an ESP32 WiFiManager library, Arduino IDE tutorial. By the way, if you want to copy and paste any of this code, the full companion written tutorial is on my website. Just scan this QR code or check the description. We're looking at how to use tzapu WiFiManager with ESP32. This is the standard library. In our setup function, we create a local WiFiManager instance. Tip: you must know how to use setConfig portal timeout in ESP32. We set it to 300 seconds. If someone walks away while the portal is open, the ESP32 won't hang forever. It'll reboot automatically to keep your system stable. Then we call AutoConnect. This is our ESP32 WiFiManager captive portal example code magic. It checks the ESP32's internal non-volatile storage, or NVS, for saved passwords. If they aren't there, it broadcasts the AP ESP32 config with our password pizza4tree. Down in our main loop, we check Wi-Fi.status. If your router drops offline, the ESP32 will gracefully attempt to reconnect instead of instantly throwing you back into the setup screen. But wait, what happens if you change your home router or give this gadget to a friend? The ESP32 will stubbornly look for your old network forever. We need a physical reset. I'm going to show you exactly how to add a factory reset button to ESP32. We'll use a hardware interrupt so it registers instantly no matter what the code is doing. We define reset button pin on GPIO3. If you aren't familiar with interrupts, scan this QR code to watch my previous video, Arduino Interrupts Explained. We create an IRAM ATTR function. When you press the button, this triggers an ESP32 hardware interrupt to wipe NVS memory. But we need to be careful. Keep your interrupts fast. If you try to clear memory inside the interrupt, your ESP32 will crash. Instead, we just flip a volatile bool flag to true and get out. Back in the main loop, if that flag is true, we do the heavy lifting. This is a perfect ESP32 WiFiManager reset settings button example. We call wm.resetSettings to clear ESP32 Wi-Fi credentials with a push button. Notice this tiny 100 millisecond delay? That gives the flash memory just enough time to commit those erase commands for a safe ESP32 reboot after clearing WiFiManager NVS. Boom, factory reset complete. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. The default web page looks like a raw hobbyist experiment. What if we could configure ESP32 Wi-Fi credentials from a mobile phone using a gorgeous professional UI and pass in custom parameters? Let's take it to the next level. First, we strip away the bloat. By setting a custom menu vector, we remove confusing buttons like info or erase, so the user only sees what they need. Next is ESP32 WiFiManager custom HTML and CSS styling. By injecting a few lines of CSS into the header, we completely transform the vibe and create a dark mode custom UI for ESP32 WiFiManager. Now, what if your project needs to connect to an MQTT broker or fetch weather data? Here is how to add custom input fields to ESP32 WiFiManager. Using the WiFiManager parameter class, we can easily add a text field for a web server URL and a secret password box for an API token. Once the user hits save, we use getValue to pass custom parameters from WiFiManager to ESP32 global variables, so your main code can actually use them. Think about this. If your project is inside a 3D printed case without a screen, how does the user know it's in AP setup mode? We need a physical status light. We will add an LED status indicator to ESP32 WiFiManager config mode. This is an awesome ESP32 WiFiManager set AP callback example. We tell the library, hey, the exact millisecond you broadcast the access point, run this callback function. Inside that callback, we turn an LED on high. It acts as a beacon, silently telling the user, hey, I can't find the internet. I've opened my portal, grab your phone. Once connected, we turn the LED off. Finally, where does that custom API token go? WiFiManager handles the router password, but we must save the API token using ESP32 WiFiManager and the preferences library. We initialize preferences.h to store custom strings in ESP32 NVS preferences safely. We even check if the user actually changed the string before saving, which drastically reduces unnecessary flash memory wear and tear. You did it. You successfully made the leap from rigid, hard-coded sketches that break the second you leave your house to engineering professional, dynamically provisioned IoT devices. Your projects are officially ready for the real world. I am super thrilled to share these techniques with you guys. What incredible things are you building with your ESP32? A smart weather station? A custom home automation hub? Let me know down in the comments. I love reading about your projects. Remember, the full written tutorial with all the code is linked in the description below. Keep making, keep breaking, and I'll see you in the next video.